Greetings and welcome to Road to Guitar Mastery, the ongoing show where I attempt to master the guitar by breaking it down into its most fundamental pieces. In my last Pentatonic overlay video, I explained how you can simplify the scale into the 6-note box. The purple corners correspond with the 4th scale degree, which acts as a pivot point connecting these boxes together. As these boxes are projected over the fretboard, each shape slides 1 fret to the right as it crosses from the G string to the B string. After combining these boxes, we are left with pattern 1, which makes up half of the pentatonic scale shape. When we take pattern 1 and start it from the A string, we realize the second half of the pattern. An effective route for combining these halves is to use the 3rd scale degree as a connector. For more information on this and traversing the complete pentatonic scale, refer to the previous video. As a conclusion to this recap, we have 2 patterns of the pentatonic scale, which are made up of a 6-note box, overlapping at the pivot points and linked by the connectors. With that out of the way, let's identify our roots for the scale and explore how we can maneuver in a more musical, key-centered kind of way. This shape makes up our first octave that we can loop. For all of these paths, I start with my ring finger on the red root note, slide my pointer finger from the 3rd to the 4th scale degree, then finally alternate those 2 fingers until my ring finger is back on the next root. Creating a consistent fingering pattern helps make these shapes transferable across the fretboard. It's also important to use rhythms that fit in time and can be looped. Here's the 2nd octave of pattern 1. Notice the shift in the pattern from the G to the B string like we mentioned earlier. Pattern 2 also has 2 complete octaves reusing similar shapes from before. Pattern 1 has a single complete octave that uses the connector to pattern 2. Here's the same connector up an octave. Pattern 2, on the other hand, has 2 complete connectors. I call this section the loose ends connector because it connects both patterns without climbing the full octave. If you don't want to or can't travel a full octave, you can always drop to the 4th scale degree and return to the root, or climb to the 5th and drop back to the root. Another possible travel rhythm is to double the first note instead of the last. You can also keep the 16th notes consistent, like so. Utilizing these 8 travel paths, practice beginning and ending each measure on a root note as you soar around the pentatonic scale. In future videos, we will isolate the remaining scale degrees, so stay tuned for that. The worksheet for this lesson is available at either my Patreon or MeWe pages, linked down below. If you have any questions or comments, let me hear them and I will do my best to get back to you. And that concludes today's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll be back with another one very soon. Take care, everyone.